that they were definitely, it was definitely going to be extended for next season. That they were, and that's actually at Yankee Stadium and also at Steinbrenner Field down in Tampa, where the Yankees have spring training. I saw a story yesterday that didn't really get into the particulars of it. I just saw a headline that said that the little girl that got hit with the foul ball a couple weeks ago off the bat of Todd Frazier, they're talking about that her sight might be permanently damaged, and that she might not recover fully, which really would be tragic. It is,
I'm not a fan of the netting, but if it prevents this is good. But at the same time, if you're going to go to a game, you got to, and it's a kid, and I know that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's like you said, it is a kid. She's 2 years old. I mean, let's hope. I mean, kids are very resilient, and they have this incredible ability to bounce back, and the young bodies can heal themselves. So let's hope that happens.
I hope,
there's
but
nothing permanent going on.
I think if you're a parent, that maybe you don't sit as close as you want with your kids. You maybe sit in the upper deck.
But who knows? Maybe somebody gave them free tickets. I mean, who's going to turn that down?
No, I'm not saying otherwise. Oh, that's a good point. But
there's so many variables involved in this, and I don't want to sit here and say, well, if you have kids, you shouldn't sit that close. Let's face it, adults will go to a game and sit that close, and you're having a conversation. You're not always paying attention to the game.
Yeah, that's
everybody at a baseball game.
I'm not saying I went to a Ducks game a few years ago, and the Ducks field the stadium part is very close to the field, and there was a foul ball that how you hear in the cartoons the ball whistling.
Yeah,
that's what I heard, and I wasn't really paying attention per se. I was and I wasn't, but it happened so fast. So I understand it. I don't know. I just get bothered by it sometimes. But I understand where it's coming, and I hope the little girl gets better.
The netting is there to protect people because, like I said, people go to games. They're not paying attention to every pitch, and that's just human nature. It's the way fans are nowadays.
They have the netting behind the home plate, so I mean, if they have it behind there, why wouldn't you have it sideways too? But it depends on how far it goes down. You don't want it to seem like the players are playing in a mouse game or something. Well,
it's probably going to go to the end of the dugout.
Okay,
and by end I mean to the end that's closer to the outfield. It'll be all the way across the dugout. That's what I think it's going to be. I'm pretty sure that's where the Mets have it.
Do they also put a net on the top going across, or is it just a net going like blocking the sides?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you know how in the netting behind home plate, it goes up and then it goes outward to the stadium part. So you can't catch a foul ball or anything.
It would just go outward. It's not going to go over the fans. It's just going to go out.
Okay,
towards the outfield.
That's not a bad.
I know it's something you're talking about, the net that goes up towards the press box.
Yeah.
That's also there for a reason. But that net would stay where it is, and that the size of it would stay where it is. But where the netting, where it I guess turns, where it goes up to a certain point and then it goes back behind the plate.
Yeah.
Well, where it goes up to, that's going to be the same level going as far as I know, going all the way out to the dugout.
Okay, that's good. Okay,
and it's needed nowadays because how many people go to games and they're looking at their phones and they don't really care if they miss a pitch because if something happens, people are going to scream. So all right, I got to look up. But if somebody fouls a ball off, A, nobody's going to scream, and B, by the time you look up, the ball's hitting you in the face.
Yeah, and I understand that. And also the other side of the coin is something our friend Phil Mushnick said a few months ago when we interviewed him. The Yankees don't call their people who go to the games fans anymore. They call them guests. And not every guest is into baseball. And they don't care. They don't care. They just want people to show up. So you could have people who aren't really paying attention who have tickets to the game because they're a guest of someone instead of being there.
They're there because it's a social thing.
Right, they're there because of the social thing, maybe, and then they're not keeping track in the scorebook, the scorecards.
Right, but the difference between well, let's say I'll say baseball and football and basketball. Football and basketball, if you don't pay attention, you're not going to get injured.
No, that's true.
Or potentially disfigured.
Right.
Whereas with baseball, that possibility, it's a very slim possibility, but the possibility does exist.
And they did
get hit with a bat or a ball.
Right. And they did extend the net in hockey too. So
yeah, and that's because again, the same thing happened. A little girl got hit with a puck.
Yep.
In a game, it was a deflected slap shot, and she wasn't sitting anywhere near the ice.
Yeah, it went.
That's why with the NHL they put the netting up so high, was because this little girl, who I think she might have been sitting in the upper deck for all.
No, she was at the top of the lower section.
All right, well, but still, I mean, really, when you think about it, nowhere near the ice.
No,
but that was why, with deflected shot and bang, and all of a sudden now you got a kid who, again, could have permanent damage, all because she just decided to go to because her parents took her to a game.
Yeah. Let's quickly talk college basketball. Big scandal popping up. Of course, the question is, will people care in March of 2018? Surprisingly, Tim, Rich Pitino is involved with this. I am shocked that Rich Pitino is part of something that nefarious is what we're hearing about the NCAA and what's going on there.
Well, it doesn't surprise me at all that Rick Pitino is involved, first of all. Secondly, it also doesn't surprise me that Rick Pitino claims he knows nothing about it. I know nothing about this.
Sergeant Schultz.
Which seems to be his standard response to every scandal that's hit him and his program in the last decade or so. Rick Pitino was caught having relations, let's say, with his equipment manager's wife on the table in his own restaurant. And more than likely said, "I know nothing about this."
Well, he was a little confused.
Yeah,
he thought he was with his own wife, and
must have been. I blacked out, whatever. But
the room was dark.
But this is what's been going on in Louisville: is assistant coaches take the fall, and Rick Pitino says, "Oh, I knew nothing about this." A couple of years ago, there was a big scandal with Louisville because they were supposedly, the assistant coach was supposedly bringing in hookers to entertain recruits, and in fact, one of them wrote a book about the whole episode.
That's a good assistant coach. Imagine you're one of the recruits and you say, "Wow, look what Kentucky got me."
Well, we're talking Louisville now. So
I'm sorry, Louisville. I'm sorry.
John Calipari's at Kentucky. That's another. That's another bag of rocks over there. But and actually, I was talking with a couple of my CBS colleagues, and one of them the other day said that Rick Pitino was set up by the equipment manager and his wife, and
come on.
I was like, I was just sitting there saying, well, wait a minute. First of all, how can somebody be set up like that? All right. Secondly, he's a married man. He knows he's not supposed to be doing anything like that. She's a married woman who he knows her, and like the whole thinking was, well, they were trying to extort him, extort money from him. And it's like, God. All the guy needs to do is have any kind of sense of right and wrong, and you don't get put into that situation where you're getting set up like that. So, and again, with the hooker situation, it was that's like this famous line. And I don't know how true it actually is, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is, that in the rookie meetings, when the league meets with rookies, incoming rookies.
The NCAA you're talking about? No,
I'm talking about the NFL and the NBA.
Oh, okay.
And so supposedly the advice for these kids coming in, because now all of a sudden they got a lot of money, and they're going to have all kinds of people around them. And there's, let's face it, not everybody is a good person. There's women looking for money and trying to do anything they can to get it, and that includes getting pregnant or doing whatever. And a lot of these athletes aren't the best people in the world, and the thinking is, make sure that you have somebody in your crew who is willing to take the fall for you. Like
really?
the guy who's willing to say, yeah, no, that wasn't him, it was me, and is willing to go to jail and do time for you so you can stay in the league and keep earning millions.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that's what assistant coaches are in this case. Because how is it that 4 assistant coaches were named in this thing, but none of the head coaches were? If you're telling me that all of this happened, all of these bribes and everything else that was happening in this incident were happening without any knowledge from the head coaches, then hey, there's a bridge for sale over in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Quickly,
because that's not possible.
Quickly, brother, we're a soccer-friendly show. Tottenham crushed Huddersfield 4-0.
How about that?
That Harry Kane guy, what did he do?
2 more goals for Harry Kane. That's 13 in September.
That's pretty damn good.
I wrote a new line for the Harry Kane song, by the way.
What is that?
Well, it goes, he's one of our own, he's one of our own, he's Harry Kane, he's one of our own. And my new line is because he doesn't score in August. I said, don't worry about August. He'll score more goals for us. Harry Kane, he's one of our own.
Holy crap, that's
good,
horrible.
Right?
No, it's horrible.
It's hard to find a word anything that'll rhyme with August.
That is a horrible song, Timmy.
It's a great song.
Holy crap! What? You can't sing. You can't write a song. Let me give me some words. I'll write it up for you. That's horrible.
Well, we'll do that off the air.
Holy crap! Is that what they sing in Tottenham?
Of course, it's Tottenham. First of all, how many times do I have to tell you this?
I'm from New York. Everything comes out.
Well, I mean, commit that to one of the brain cells is going to be around next week, huh?
Okay, I'll try.
Every week I have to remind you how to pronounce Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Right.
Not Tottenham.
Exactly.
It's not ham and cheese. It's Tottenham.
Yeah, I know. You're obsessed with ham and cheese. That's why.
I like ham and cheese.
I know.
And
but yes, so 2 more goals for Harry Kane. Tottenham scored 3 in the first half, dominated the match. It was one of the most impressive performances of the season, and it was on the road. And Tottenham, I'm pretty sure, unless they changed it to an own goal, but got a goal from Moussa Sissoko, who was the big spending last year, £30 million, and has been pretty much nothing but a disappointment so far.
That's a lot of pounds.
But the win allows Spurs to move into third place. Manchester City beat Chelsea 1-0, and Manchester United also won. So they're the top 2. And actually, there's a little bit of a gap already in there. They have 19 points. Tottenham has 14 points. So there's a little bit of a gap there.
Okay.
But and then Pep Guardiola, who is the Manchester City coach, there's over the weekend called Tottenham a one-man team. Called them the Harry Kane team.
That sounds like a line.
Which was more than a little insulting.
Not really, but
I think Spurs are in his head.
Anyway, brother, you have to go to jury duty, do your patriotic thing.
My civic duty.
Your civic duty. Some people who are against the kneeling, they probably like the same people who like to get out of jury duty. So.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Anyway, that just about does it. My name is Rob Leonard. You've been listening to From the Press Box. On the phone with me, because he's going to jury duty in 5 minutes, is award-winning sports writer Tim Leonard. And, Tim, you're on Twitter at
Real Tim Leonard.
I'll talk to you soon, brother, and take care. And coming up next at 10 o'clock, Big Ed, and the Good Gold Show. Take care.
The opinions expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College.
Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail to WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York 11530.
Thanks for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This program is brought to you by the Westbury Food Truck Festival, happening Saturday, October 7th at 3 p.m. in the parking lot of the NYCB Theater at Westbury.
Take a bite of the food on 4 wheels, plus games, prizes, and other fall fun.
For more information, visit venue.thetheater@westbury.com.